We are live.
We're still connecting. Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me first, please? I need to check if my microphone is working well.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
So, hello, my name is Yasmin. Thank you. My name is Yasmin, and I'm hosting this session together with Ms. Asma Modif from Jordan. This session, as you know, is about environment. No doubt that the topic of environment remains a very important and relevant topic to our world. For this reason, we have today with us 3 capacity building projects that are related to the topic environment, and they will be showcasing the results. These are Project Beck, NatRisk, and DAMOC. I will not go further with this. We'll keep it for the project to start their talk about their project results. But before I give the floor to the speakers, I'd like please to highlight a few important housekeeping issues. On the right side of the screen, you have the chat tab where you can chat and talk with the group. And there's next to the chat the Q&A, so please place your questions in the Q&A tab for us to keep track of them and answer them in the last 5 to 10 minutes of this session. Okay, so please make sure that the questions are in the Q&A and not in the chat. I think it's time to start with Project Beck. Professor Arturas Kaklowski will be presenting the results of this project from Vilnius Gediminas Technical University in Lithuania. So please, Professor Kaklowski, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. We would like today present the project integrating education with consumer behavior relevant to energy efficiency and climate change at the universities of Russia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. In our consortium, we have 14 partners and seven countries. And now we would like to show a short video.
From the Erasmus program. For this reason, the Commission has set up a transparent evaluation process that aims at providing grants for the best projects. Project BEC is one of the co-funded programs by the Erasmus+. Word BEC stands for Integrating Education with Consumer Behavior Relevant to Energy Efficiency and Climate Change at the universities of Russia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. This project, designed after identifying the vital importance of the social and economic development of Russia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. These regions distinguish education in engineering and engineering trends. We are a team that represents 14 universities from 7 countries, grouped as 4 program countries and 10 partner countries. We as a team ensure a proper geographical and knowledge balance, also the diversity, because the built environment practices and necessary solutions differ from region to region. The universities of the partner countries are willing to introduce new adapted modes to the different cycles of the built environment and related study programs. All partner universities will participate in the upgrading of BSc, MSc, and PhD study programs. The main objective of Project BEC is to upgrade the curricula with 16 new harmonized, multidisciplinary, adaptive mood modules on environmental protection technology in Russia, Sri Lankan and Bangladeshi universities. It is to increase their capacity to continually modernize and enhance the quality and relevance of education of students to the global market. Also, the project will spread and promote awareness in the partner countries related to the European Union policies and best practices of energy efficiency and climate change approach towards environmental and energy 2020 targets. Project BEC will consolidate a variety of diverse activities in education quality improvement by delivering extensive distance education programs and a capacity building framework. It will establish an associated network of experts and institutions to continue the knowledge sharing among partner universities.
Professor Arturas, please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. Professor Arturas, can you hear me?
Yes, now it's better?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
I muted you during the video playing because there was an echo. So please, after each video, unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. And according to the Russian Erasmus Office Guide, Dr. Muravyova, the project deliverables comprise the developed MOOCs, 24 MOOCs against the 16 planned one that follow the grid template and are complete with ACTS and learning outcomes. At Russian universities, the MOOCs have been officially validated and recognized by university administration in the line with established national regulations. The MOOCs are supplied with teaching learning materials, video, audio, games, modeling, software, etc., and with guidelines and accreditation rules. To date, over 1,500 students have studied developed MOOCs and highly assessed them. To make MOOCs accessible to more students, specific mobile applications have been developed through this from this project. And as you can see, currently our center is mobile. This mobile center speaks of the flexibility and adaptability of the project to emerging or changing needs, as well as of the commitment of the project participants. This was opinion of Russian Erasmus Guide Office, Dr. Muravyova. And now we would like to show another short video from Moscow State University.
Dear colleagues, hello, good day. Today we would like to share the results of the BEC project and the part of the activity that Moscow State University has performed during these 3 years. My name is Maria Ulyanova, and I'm one of the participants of this project, and I'm also in charge of international projects at Faculty of Economics, Lomonosov Moscow State University. Okay, so I will start my presentation, and the main results that we have achieved during this project, we created and have implemented 2 courses devoted to the climate change and energy saving behavior. So first course was created for graduate students for one of our graded programs, and this course is called International Risk Management and climate change. The course is provided in English, and the workload of it is 3 credits. We already had 2 intakes. First intake was in 2020, in March, from March to June, and the second intake was in 2021. So altogether, we have instructed more than 50 students. The second course that we have designed is devoted to PhD students, and the course done is in format of research seminar. The name of this course is Climate Change, Public Policy and Business Activity. The workload of it is 6 credits, and the language of instruction is Russian.
Now we shortly will show most interesting places, about 1 minute, under development. You can see in this slide our back center, and our center has a lot of different possibilities. One from this possibility is adaptive examination system. You can see during this examination or testing system, system analyzing our emotions, and in this case, we can get not only right answer or wrong answer and examination results, but also we can get a lot of knowledge about our emotional state of students and teachers, and which questions are more interesting, and what students think about different parts of examination or testing systems. We have a lot of different possibilities. Another possibility is video MOOCs. When system analyzing, you can see a lot of possibilities. Of climate change, with emotions or without emotions. Students can select keywords according they would like to study. System select best appropriate material, and system analyzing emotional state of people. If people are happy, they showing video. If people are not interesting or they are bored,
so I think we're going to go ahead and get started.
Changing different videos.
How and why should food be considered within the climate policies?
In this case,
urbanization
is possible to use different video possibilities. One with one system analyzing emotion and changing video according to affective attitudes and emotional state of students. Another possibility is when students selected everything by self. For example, students can use video analytics without emotions too. For example, according to some keywords, system select video for you, and you can watch video and select, can do with video what you want, which parts are more interesting to you to look or to change video. In this case, we have different possibilities with video. One is one system analyzing affective attitudes and emotional states of students and select by self for video. Another possibility, one students can regulate everything by self. Another possibility is also to change. Discuss. Okay, now we show next the final hour video.
In 2018, an international team led by the Vilnius Gediminas Technical University won a grant from the European Commission's Erasmus Plus program for the implementation of the BEC project, integrating education with consumer behavior relevant to energy efficiency and climate change at the universities of Russia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh.
Идея проекта состоит в создании учебных модулей по вопросам изменения климата, энергосбережения, энергоэффективности и потребительского поведения. Кроме того, обязательной частью курсов должны стать технологии персонализированного обучения.
The BEC Center, an inter-university network training center for big data simulation, was set up to provide technical support in the process of development and implementation of online modules. 8 different tools are aimed at personalizing the learning process, big data processing, and assessing the psycho-emotional state of students. The effective video tutoring system allows to identify the material that is of particular interest to the student and falls within a preselected scope of topics. Firstly, one needs to specify the topic and keywords to search for the video. Then the system offers a series of video clips that meet the preset requirements. At the same time, students' emotions are analyzed through the webcam. In case of negative emotions or indifference, another video clip is shown, and the process will continue until the students find the most interesting material. This tool helps to quickly scan through a variety of topics, researches, and opinions while studying a particular discipline and select a suitable area of further work.
Обычно преподаватель дает всем тему для доклада или курсовой работы. Неважно, интересно тебе это или нет. А сейчас я могу просто смотреть видео и знакомиться с разнообразием вопросов, из которых могу выбрать для себя что-то интересное.
2 tools offered by BEC Center were developed to search for the materials and internet resources by keywords. Big data mining techniques allows to find text or files using words mentioned in the media, unofficial websites, and information portals. And the intelligent tutoring system is designed to search for articles using keywords that can be assigned an index of importance. As a result, we will receive a PDF file that will have articles and a table that has statistical information on articles and their authors.
Сегодня очень важна компетенция правильно выбирать информацию, обращаться к источникам и оригиналам. Через инструменты BEC-центра студенты и преподаватели могут найти достоверные интернет-ресурсы и качественные статьи по тематике исследования. Это значительно ускоряет и упрощает работу, снижая информационный шум.
An adaptive examination system is an irreplaceable assistant in testing student knowledge. The system offers tests featuring different levels of difficulty, and a student can choose the level before the testing begins or mark the dynamic difficulty option, which changes the difficulty level depending on the right or wrong answers. This tool of the BEC Center can be used to test the knowledge both before the course launch and after its completion. The system does not simply give a grade, it demonstrates the depth of the student knowledge.
На мой взгляд, традиционное тестирование морально устарело, а такие тесты позволяют сделать более тонкую градацию в результатах освоения дисциплины. Каким-то студентам достаточно просто сдать экзамен, а мотивированные студенты могут претендовать на более высокий балл.
The widespread introduction of online learning into the educational process has triggered the need of a variety of approaches and teaching methods. The tools provided by the BEC Center can solve this problem. The interests of teachers and students are accommodated here.
The BEC Center interface is in both Russian and English languages. All developed materials are in the public domain. This allows them to be used not only in Russia, but in the foreign countries as well. The project team managed to create a digital product that includes a tool for assessing the psycho-emotional state of a student, a program for collecting big data, and a platform for creation educational materials and interaction between teachers across the world.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Professor Kaklowski.
Thank you very
Please, you
much.
still have the last 1 minute if you need to finalize. Yeah.
No, we are already finished. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.
Okay, so thank you for the project BEC. We now move to the second project, NatRisk, that's going to be presented by Professor Milan and Amina. Professor Milan, he's from the University of Nice in Serbia, and Professor Amina is from the University of Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to be with you today, together with Professor Amina Hadžić from the University of Sarajevo, to present our project NatRisk, development of master curricula for natural disasters risk management in Western Balkan countries. Natural hazards such as floods, droughts, tornadoes, earthquakes are integral part of our life. Natural hazards cause directly loss of life, setback economic and social development. Also, there is reductions in crop yields. Also, natural hazards cause indirectly increased food prices and food insecurity. Unfortunately, we cannot avoid natural hazards, but what we can do? We can prevent them from becoming disasters. There are a lot of published reports worldwide describing the number of deaths and economic losses per each region and per natural hazard. As we can see from the presented materials, the natural disasters risk management became the greatest global challenge, and also it requires sustainable development according to United Nations goals presented in Agenda 2030. What we can do? Western Balkan region and also countries in the Western Balkan region should develop new or improve the existing education in this field, in the field of natural disasters risk management, raise technical capacity, and create more efficient systems for better response when natural disasters occur. Overall broad objective of the NatRisk project is to educate future experts for prevention natural disasters in the region of Western Balkan, but in line with national accreditation rules and also EU policies. Specific objectives of the NatRisk project were to identify natural disasters which we should manage in the Western Balkan region. Then, to develop and implement new and advanced master curricula in the field of natural disaster risk management. And the third specific objective was to develop of trainings for the public sector and citizens. In order to achieve these goals, we need to have strong consortium. Our European partners are from Austria, the United Kingdom, University of Messina from Italy, from Hungary, and from Greece. Strong consortium from EU partners. Some of them were the leaders of our work packages, and they helped us to achieve these goals. Also, partners from the Western Balkan countries, University of Niš, University of Criminal Investigation Police Studies, then University of Defense, University of Sarajevo from Bosnia and Herzegovina, from Banja Luka, and also associated partner, Republic of Hydrometeorological Service of Serbia, are here to implement these activities in the Western Balkan region.
Okay, thank you, Milan. I will continue with the next free slide. First, I would like to say hello from Sarajevo, from sunny Sarajevo, to all of you. We want to point out that through the project we created, developed, accredited, and implemented 6 new master curricula and 1 specialistic professional study program, and also 1 master study program we modernized in the area of natural disaster risk management. Through this master curricula, we developed 70 new courses and 3 courses we modernized. We enrolled first generation 124 students, 7 labs equipped for study in the field of natural disaster risk management in the Western Balkan. We signed 8 agreements for students' internship between Western Balkan, higher education institution and companies, some public body in the field disaster risk management. We write 4 handbooks on our mother language in the field of natural disaster risk management, and prepared and delivered 14 trainings for civil sector and trained about 300 people. Please, next slide. When we think about internationalization of our partner AGEIs, we want to say that 2 new IROs established and adopt necessary procedures, all procedures, mobility action plans, guidelines for students and staff exchange, and strategy of internationalization. 3 partners have also obtained the Erasmus Charter for higher education. We signed 26 interinstitutional agreements between Western Balkan, IGIs, and EU partners. And through these agreements, we organized 115 mobility of teaching staff, and duration is 1,200 days. And we are so proud on that fact that 24 student mobility visits was organized through this project, and duration of this mobility were about 122 months. And we realized about 28 students' internships. Please, next slide, Milan. When we think about spin-off effect of our project, as I said, we establishment of 2 international relation office in 2 partners institutions, public monograph book title, Natural Disaster Risk Management and Engineering. On this slide, you can see link to, and just make some brief review of all 11 chapters. Please, next slide. All curricula was developed in the line with the European credit transfer system and the European standard and guidelines for ESGs for quality assurance. Also based on integration of ECT in teaching and learning process, focused on student-centered learning and innovative teaching methods, develop master curricula have a practical pedagogical approach, and all master students, which is very important, and we are also proud on this fact, carried out internships as a mandatory part of the curricula. We also think that the scientific impact of the net risk project is creating some kind of network of new experts in the field natural disaster risk management, which will contribute to better mitigation skills in Western Balkan countries. Thank you, Milan.
Thank you. At the end of this presentation, we would like to highlight the lessons we learned from this project during the realization of this project. First of all, it is important to have previous collaboration and experience. Also, it is needed to have some experience in project management. At the beginning of this project, on next Erasmus Plus projects, you need to establish precise communication channels and also define precise roles to all project partners. Then you should precisely design, work plan, and realistically build budget. Then define progress indicators and also have contingency plan. It is one of the important things to have quality assurance and monitoring at the both level, internal and external level. At the end, some final remarks regarding this project. This project was presented as an example of best practices in Albania 2 years ago at the Erasmus Plus contact seminar with the Western Balkan partners. Also, National Erasmus Office from Serbia recorded a promotional video related to this project, and you can find this video. Unfortunately, this video is only in our mother tongue language, in Serbian, and because of that, it is not translated in English. But if you want to see some of our results, please download this video material. Also, this project and its implementation has been qualified as very good by the European Commission. Please contact us using this email address and see our results using this web address. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Milan and Professor Amina, for this presentation, and especially for these helpful remarks and lessons learned that you presented at the end. So thank you.
Okay, I think Yasmin lost the connection. She wanted to thank you for your presentation. And now to our last project, which deal with the smart grid concept as a tool to improve the environmental and sustainability, efficiency, and the quality and stability of energy supply with the MOOC project. Please welcome Dr. Carl Krieger from Cape Benin, Sola University of Technology in South Africa, and Dr. Thomas Kivelivi from the Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology in Tanzania. The stage is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carl Krieger. I'm from the Cape Peninsula University of Technology in Cape Town, South Africa. So just give me a second while I just get my presentation. Can you just confirm that you can see my presentation?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Thank you. The DAMA project is a project for the development of a harmonized modular curriculum for the smart grid. Specifically, I'm going to be looking at the outputs at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, and this is a capacity building project in higher education. I just on this slide want to acknowledge some of my colleagues, Professor Reiniske Soneva, who was the previous lead on this project, as well as some of my colleagues who are teaching currently on this particular project. So this is the contents of my presentation. I won't go through that. The DAMA consortium consists of 3 universities in South Africa: Stellenbosch University, Cape Peninsula University of Technology, as well as the University of Pretoria, 2 universities from Tanzania, Nelson Mandela Africa Institute of Science and Technology, and the University of Dar es Salaam. And then we have 3 European universities: the Technical University of Dresden, Karlstad University in Sweden, and also the University of degli Studi Guglielmo Marconi in Italy. The process for accreditation in South Africa is quite stringent. So I'm just going to take you quickly through some of the dates and some of the processes that were in place. A needs assessment was formed towards the end of 2017, scoping and benchmark towards the end of 2018 with a basic curriculum. A full curriculation was done by the end of January 2018 and sent to the Department of Higher Education and Training in South Africa. Approval for this proposed qualification was obtained from our faculty board at the university in 2018. Business plan was approved in 2018 as well by our executive management, as well as the university's academic planning committee, and also the Senate approved this qualification. The Department of Higher Education and Training approved this qualification on the 6th of April 2018. However, further accreditation was necessary. The Higher Education Quality Committee and also the South African Qualifications Authority, these documents were submitted to these bodies in 2018, and application was made to the university for accreditation of a different qualification, which is a Master's in Technology in Smart Grid. The reason for this application was that the requirements of the project were that we started teaching in January of 2019. So because we were waiting for the accreditation, we needed to make sure that we had at the university a dormant master's qualification, which we used in the interim while we were waiting for full accreditation of the Master in Engineering. So initially we started with the accreditation process for the Master of Technology, and this accreditation was approved in 2018 towards the end, and advertisements were done, and those classes started on the 6th of March 2019 under the Master of Technology. The full accreditation for the Master of Engineering in Smart Grid was obtained in April 2019, and the condition was that we needed to present more knowledge content of the modules. These were sent to the Council of Higher Education and Training, and the SACWA ID was obtained in 2019 from the South African Qualifications Authority. So we started teaching on the new Masters in Engineering program in March 2020. So the MTech in Smart Grid will not be used anymore, and all those students who were on the old qualification were transferred to the new Masters. And obviously the lessons that were learned in 2020 continued into 2021. I just want to quickly go through the structure of the course. We have 5 core modules with 3 elective modules and also a 50% research project component. The duration of the project is 2 years with 180 credits, 90 being coursework and 90 being the thesis. So the subject will be presented during the first year with a proposal towards the end of the first year and then the thesis at the end of the second year. So there are 2 major components for us. We're working on the theoretical, but also a very strong practical component as well. Lecturers will be teaching simulations done by students as well as practicals as well. The course is presented after hours to accommodate those students who are working during the day, as we have a strong component of students who are actually working. The focus points for the course content is focusing on new technologies and processes for smart grid based, but we're also looking at standardized based digital technologies with a focus on security and also microgrids. This slide just gives an indication of what the program looks like. We have 3 programs during the first semester of year 1. In the second semester, we have 3 programs as well, with an elective as well. And then in the second year, we have our research project. These are a list of electives. At the moment, we're only offering one of these electives, in this case, electricity markets. Some of the credits are presented further on in the table, as well as some of the codes for our different bodies. So these are the subjects that we are offering currently and the associated lectures. The course has been running for 3 years now, and there are various levels of administration within the department, the faculty, and at the university. This is just a breakdown of how the evaluations are structured and the different weightings for those evaluations. As you can see, there are assignments, practical work, as well as an integrated evaluation towards the end. This is the first advertisement that was placed on different websites, different marketing platforms from within the university, as well as external as well. So this is the group of our first group of students on the 6th of March 2019 who started the program, and this is the lab, some of the pictures from the lab. Again, just a plan for teaching. The modules during the first semester is presented, as well as how our semester is divided. I'm not going to go through all of that. We also have different plans how we supervise the projects, and we have different criteria at the university for when these proposals need to be in, and so forth. The practical component was funded. We obviously have a lab already, but the lab was supplemented with the acquisition of a real-time digital simulator. We have 4 racks already. The one that is in the picture is a new one called the NovelCore, which is an upgrade to the existing ones, which allow us to do hardware-in-the-loop simulations with actual devices. And this allowed us to upgrade the DAMOC project allowed us to upgrade our lab to a state-of-the-art facility to support the education aspects of our program. So there's a strong focus on practical ability and technical expertise, and with this particular NovelCore was purchased from RTDS in Canada. So the dissemination of the master's program was done through various mediums, with videos from our own website, the Center for Substation Automation and Energy Management Systems, as well as videos on the DAMOC website, and also another website which was created during the advent of this project, which was the Astrogen website. So the EMS website was also used to publish videos as well as papers that were procured through the advent of this project. And also we have very strong industry engagement with our municipalities and also our local power producer, ESCOM. We've advertised on different platforms as well as our marketing department. And we also have engaged a lot of the municipalities and the industries in terms of giving courses as well as practical demonstrations of the new technology. So this picture shows some of the staff members as well as a group of experts from industry who are now looking at us from the university to supplement their knowledge in terms of the new technology specifically. These are some of the proposals that we're looking at moving into different areas of also smart grid, but with the focus on more renewables, power hardware in the loop, as well as control hardware in the loop. I'm not going to go through too much of that. So our numbers are fairly low. In the beginning, we had 7 students in 2019, 6 students in 2020, and currently we have 5 students. And the numbers we are sort of projecting that the current situation with COVID-19 has had an impact on those numbers, and we're hoping to expand and increase those numbers to more students. These are the topics of a particular course, which is called Smart Grid Protection, Automation and Control. This was the timetabling for 2020, which has been followed up until now. So in conclusion, I just want to state that the project at the university was completed and submitted to DHET for accreditation. All the subjects were curriculated, all the documents and advertising was done. There were some initial teething problems with the online application program, but the teaching commenced in 2019 under the MTech degree, continued in 2020 under the MEng degree. The NovelCore equipment was purchased and the simulator is installed, commissioned, and running, and the practicals are already implemented and using the equipment. The quality of the program is obviously ensured by the university processes, but also we have a steering committee with members from industry also to provide oversight. Our first graduate, Mr. Maimiko Hara, has graduated with the summa cum laude achievement at the end of June 2021. And also Mr. Hara, who is currently working for the City of Cape Town municipality, has been offered a new job specifically with the knowledge acquired on the Smart Grid program, and he will be starting in December 2021. In conclusion, I want to thank some of our funders of our equipment in our labs, and also obviously acknowledge the funding from the DAMOC project as well. Thank you. Over to you, Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Carl. I'm sorry, Dr. Thomas, but before proceeding, I need to remind the attendees if they wish to ask their questions in the Q&A tab, please. Thank you very much.
Can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Yes, please do.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I think I'm not going to go into details of the project. I think my colleague, Dr. Carl, has already briefly explained what the project is all about. For me, I will just go straight to few results that our university achieved through this DAMOC project. Basically, as my colleague said, the vision outcome of the project was to achieve the new interdisciplinary master's courses that are implemented at the partner institutions, especially in Africa. Also having some lab learning, also develop online courses, also have improved networking between our consortium. So basically, our university played a big role, especially on the work package of implementing and testing the developed curriculum. So through this project, we managed to be beneficiaries of getting some equipment from this project, and we improved our sustainable energy lab by acquiring some of the equipment, specifically the open real-time simulator that is in our lab now. The students now are using for simulation of different devices. So basically, we have developed some of the modules that are being taught in class, and our lab, with the equipment that we got from this project, is supplementing the smart grid courses, especially when it comes to hands-on equipment. Apart from the real-time simulator, also we tried to install the medium PV system that the student can use, especially for security, when it comes to security and data privacy. So this the student now are using in the lab at our university. So we developed the curriculum under DAMOC project, which we have now already accredited by the Tanzania Commission of Universities, especially on the Masters and the PhD in Sustainable Energy Science and Engineering, which was accredited last year in July. And we expect the student to be coming this end of this year as the first cohort for this new program. So basically, student can specialize on smart grid in the master's program. Also, the PhD student by research can do also research on the smart grid. So we can see the structure of the programs. The red one are the new developed programs, and the other ones, if you see the table, that we have adopted from various schools existing at our universities. Also, we benefited a lot from this project, especially on the exchange program. Our students visited different universities in Europe, especially the coordinator of the project, Dresden Technical University in Germany. Also, staff visited and were engaged in different activities to gain knowledge, basically on the ICT and the smart grid. We also have students from from Germany that visited our university, and they helped us to develop some course teaching materials. Also, students visited different universities within Africa as to network ourselves within Africa. So some of our students from Mandela, they visited Stellenbosch universities in South Africa, where they were engaged in different activities, especially. Also, we had the exchange program of our young staff, including me. We visited Karlstad University in Dresden, in Sweden, where we were engaged in different activities, especially mostly we're engaged on smart grid issues, especially on data security and data privacy to smart grid. So this was the biggest achievement from us as a project. Also for the networking, I think my colleague already explained, we have established the African Smart Grid Education Network, which is new. We expect to be very effective in the near future. So our colleague, you can visit. I have just indicated the website there. Also, we have already established a good network within the African partners who are involved in the project, also the European partners, including the industry partners that were engaged in the project. So these are some of the achievements that our universities, I think, achieved through DAMOC project, and the networking that we expect to prevail beyond the project lifetime. I think in brief, that is the presentation from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas. Apparently, I don't see any question in the Q&A. You still have 10 minutes if you wish to ask any question. But I noticed something in the chat. There is a Professor Alok Mishra who's suggesting and collaboration in digitalization, ICT, and artificial intelligence related projects. So I want to remind you that at the end of this day, there is this networking lounge where you can meet the projects to ask your questions, and you even get the chance to meet potential partners. So make sure that you join the lounge for potential and future partnerships. Okay. Now that there isn't any question in the Q&A, actually I wanted to ask the projects about what important lessons learned or advices that they can give to other projects. I was happy to see these lessons learned presented by Project NatRisk, and I wanted to comment actually on this, but I lost my connection. I'm sorry. So they had very beautiful tips at the end and practical tips. So I would like to start with Project Beck if they wish to provide any important lessons or advices from their project.
We would like to say
So
that
Professor
during
Koklowski.
yes, we would like to say that during our project, working in pandemic conditions, and pandemic have a huge influence to our project. And we understand that our center, our project should be mobile, that everything students and professors can get and modeling through mobile phones. And currently our center is mobile. And also a second lesson is that currently is very important society 5, industry 5 and studies 5. It is mean massive personalizations. Students can learn very efficiently if they are interested in the subject. In this case, if we can deliver personalized teaching learning materials, our students will be more happy, more educated, with more better achievements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Koklauskas. Now to Project Damok, if Dr. Carl or Dr. Thomas want to add something.
Yes, I think I can respond. We've learned quite a lot of lessons. I think all
What
of us
lessons learned or advices you wish to convey?
Yeah, I think the fact that we're sitting in the midst of a pandemic forced us to rethink about how we're presenting our material. We were forced to go online. The challenge for us specifically is the fact that we have a strong practical focus. So we still expect our students to be practically and technically very sound. And some of these technologies are not that easy to get to grips with. So whenever our lockdown levels permitted, we would then request our university to allow us on campus specifically for that. But I think one of the big takers from this, we've collaborated with our partners specifically in the area of cybersecurity. And some of our university partners were not engineering universities. So we were collaborating strongly with our host university, which was a computer science university. So the lessons I think we took from that was, even though we come from different domains, we were able to collaborate and we were able to share. So the Dresden University as well as the Karlsruhe University, which are computer science universities, were able to offer some of our engineering staff training in terms of cybersecurity specifically. And we obviously took a different spin on cybersecurity, not only looking at the computer science viewpoint from this, but looking at the system as a cyber physical system as well. So yes, the networking was critical for us because we learned different domains of application, and we also learned from our partners. And you can see that the focus of each and every partner is different. So the accreditation process we found was going to be tricky if we try to do a combined curriculum. And that is one of the reasons why it was decided up front that each and every partner would actually curriculate and accredit according to the rules of their country. And then we would then share collaboration on the content and also specifically networking wherever else we could. So I think there were a lot of lessons that we learned. From outside personal experience, we had some teething problems on our initial, let's say, online system for applications. So we are able to take international students to apply for the program, But the challenge is still going to be that because of the practical component, many of those students would still be required if they wanted to be, let's say, accredited with a South African qualification, they would have to do the practical component in South Africa. But yeah, I think we learned quite a lot. Dr. Thomas, I'm not sure if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I think you have said almost everything. It was about the issue of pandemic. I think you know the challenges that we faced during the closing period of our project, that we had to postpone some of our meetings because of the pandemic. But the good thing that our project developed some of the online courses that I think it can solve the issue of this kind of issues. But the issue come again that for practical issues, that the hands-on is also still a challenge. So it was a good experience for us. And yeah, the other thing, it was on the networking issue. We know it's a bit challenging when it comes to networking between African universities or African partners. It's easier to partner with the European partners and stuff like that. So it was good for us to come out with an African kind of a network that will try to help us to still communicate or engage together beyond the project lifetime. So it was a good experience project for us. Yeah, I think that's what I can add, Carl. Thanks.
Thank you, Yasmin.
Okay, there is one question to Dr. Thomas, to you, Dr. Thomas. I'm going to show it on stage.
I think,
what do you think could have done differently in the... Sorry?
You were lost. Now we can hear you, Yasmin.
Okay, I'm sorry again. So this is a question addressed to Dr. Thomas. I shared it on the stage. So what do you think could have done differently in the project for future improvement?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I don't know. I think yeah, I think we can say maybe for the pandemic thing, it really disturbed us for smooth implementation of the project. I think if it was not there, I think the achievement could have been a bit more achieved in a good manner, because we had to do things online, and we used to be having physical meetings. That we had a good conversation and agreement. When it comes to online, a lot of challenges I think came in that a bit slowed the performance of the project, even although we tried our level best to achieve what we were intended to achieve as our proposal. Yeah, I think that's how I can respond now, unless something else need to be added. Thank you.
Yasmin, if you will allow me,
Dr.
maybe
Thomas.
I can also respond to that.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I think some of the lessons that we learned was the accreditation process in South Africa is extremely long. It doesn't happen overnight. So I think some of the things we would have done is we would have tried to get the accreditation documents and the processes and approval processes that were required. We would have tried to get it in earlier. I think also based on our experiences that we've learned along the way, we would have obviously tried to circumvent some of our teething issues. If you looked at the dates carefully at which our university approved some of these accreditation processes, they were quite close to the end of the year. So we had a big problem in that first year with advertising the program. So we advertised it towards the end of 2018, meaning that we had not a lot of people responding at the beginning of 2019, because many of them just weren't aware. They were aware that we were going to be offering the program, but they did not know that it was approved. And that, so in terms of that, I think we would have tried to tighten up a bit in terms of our processes our systems, our online systems, on also getting our marketing campaign sorted out. But I think the big stumbling block for us was the actual approval processes. In terms of the actual project with the partners, I don't think we would have done anything differently. I think we've worked well as a consortium, and in terms of even the let's say the rating of the project from our international quality board, it was quite positive. It was extremely positive because if we're looking at the benchmarking of smart grid specifically throughout the world, this is one of the few projects that is taking this spin and focus in terms of the smart grid. So we're looking at standardized communication because we felt that without communications, you don't have a smart grid. So for our university specifically, and this is also, I believe, one of the reasons why the international industries are also taking note of this particular program, because it is completely novel in the rest of the world. So I think in terms of the networking with the partners, the lessons, and also the input from all of our network partners, I think we've learned quite a bit there, and that also contributed, I think, to the quality and the level of the schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carl. And now I think with Dr. Carl's contribution.
I can brief
Yeah.
something add from the question. For us, I think during development of the curricula, where we upgraded the existing curriculum, we added a new specialty on smart grid. I think that one delayed our accreditation process because we had another specialties within that curriculum that delayed a lot our accreditation of the program. So possibly we should have done different is that maybe we should have developed a new curriculum, independent, that should have smoothened the accreditation process and shortened the accreditation period. And we should have already have the students already enrolled. But unfortunately, because of upgrading the existing one, it delayed because of the review even of the other specialties. So until now, we are expecting a new batch of students next semester. So that delayed the accreditation process. I think that's the thing that I can say. One of the things that we should have done a bit different. That's what I can learn from the question that colleague has asked. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, this is a very important point you highlighted at the end. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. I thank everyone who attended this session. I thank the speakers, and I thank Asma for supporting in the technical issues. So thank you so much for all of you, and see you soon. Please don't forget the networking lounge at the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yasmin, I will end the session, okay?